Yes, sir. Shout outs to the intro. Welcome to Rich Talks, podcast where we do music commentary, cultural commentary, deep dives, and just interesting topics in general. I'm your host, Unk, aka Ree. Now let's get into it. I kind of messed up, y'all. On the last episode, I was like so what's the word I'm looking for? I guess incensed. In just getting out how I felt about the drill music situation. That I kind of completely glossed over another topic that I kind of wanted to bring to light because I don't know, it's an interesting topic and I found it a little bit weird and I like weird topics. But shout outs to Reminisce Mackie, man, or better known by her stage name, Remy Ma, formerly Remy Martin. Famous for not only being probably one of the most authentically gangster female rappers, but also most well known for being the only female member of the Terror Squad rap crew, alongside Big Pun and Fat Joe. Actually, interesting fun fact I found, Remy's one of only 4 female rappers to ever have a #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 chart with the song Lean Back. I mean, I'm sure they count her in the list, but technically Lean Back was Terror Squad's song. It's not actually her own song, but I guess I'm just nitpicking too hard, but it's really not her song, man. It said Terror Squad on the credits. It doesn't say Remy Ma featuring Terror Squad. Let's just allow it. We'll allow it. She's one of only 4 after all, right? That to achieve #1. So, the other 3 female rappers to ever earn this #1 on the Billboard charts are Nicki Minaj, obviously, with Starships. Oh yeah, I remember that song. In 2012, Iggy Azalea with Fancy in 2014, and Cardi B with Bodak Yellow and I Like It in 2017. The Iggy one though, I found it a little interesting because like I didn't even really realize that Fancy song was actually that popular back then in 2014, but I guess it was, right? Huh. It's been 10 years, guys. It's hard to remember that. Anyway, I'd argue though that Remy Ma is probably more authentic in her raps than a lot of male gangster rappers that we all know and love. I'm looking at you, Ross. And this was clearly shown back in 2007 when Remy was accused and later sentenced to an 8-year prison sentence for shooting her now former friend Makita Barnes Joseph in the abdomen over a missing sum of money.
What?
Like some reports were saying that it was like about a missing $3,000, while some reports are saying that it was actually about $10,000. But irregardless of that, like Remy and her raps and lyrics alone, you can tell, like just listening to her raps and like the lyrics, you can tell. Well, I mean like the older Remy music, you can tell like she definitely had some anger issues. But you know, like the way the media originally portrayed like what went down is a lot more telling to me. It's almost like they were kind of trying to paint a specific narrative that Remy was this stereotypical ghetto angry black woman that shot her friend in the stomach over stolen money. Like, you know how it goes, man. Like, but the truth of the matter is, y'all, it was during a night out, during the night out in question. It was like around 4 a.m. Remy and Makita, this is all alleged because like even the security footage doesn't actually show Remy like or Makita like actually fighting with each other, and Remy has also said herself, she's denied this, that she was the one that did anything with the gun, right? But anyways, allegedly what went down was they got into a physical altercation and the gun in Remy's purse went off as the two of them were struggling over the purse, and the bullet ended up piercing Makita in her colon and came out of her rectum.
What?
So wait, But she basically, they said that she was shot in the abdomen, so I guess it went through her abdomen, went through her colon, and hit her in the rectum. Whoa! So the bullet came out her ass.
Stop the cap. You're a victim.
That's definitely not a laughing matter, but it's just interesting. Again, like I like interesting shit. Like the fact that the bullet went in through her abdomen and then came out her ass was just really interesting to me. She was hospitalized for like 3 weeks. Obviously had multiple surgeries over the years, but damn sure lucky to be alive, honestly. Like also considering that Remy was like only actually sentenced for assault with a deadly weapon possession, and coercion, which it probably means that maybe she threatened her to not press charges or some shit like that, you know, like witness tampering type of thing.
What?
Why wasn't she given something harsher though, like attempted murder? If what the media narrative was essentially painting was that Remy was this person who shot her friend because she thought her friend stole her money, right?
Stop the cap.
Right? If she was so unhinged, if she was this unhinged ghetto angry black woman that the media like to throw around, they actually like to throw this around a lot in the early 2000s about hip hop artists in general. It wasn't just Remy Ma, like hip hop artists in general, and people would always run with it. Like people ran with it thinking that Remy was this friend shooting crazy person, but from like, you know, like the way things went down, I don't know, from reading the allegedly what went down, it feels more like it accidentally went off because the gun was in her purse, probably a loaded gun. It was just in her purse, and they were like struggling over the purse, and it just went off. So nobody actually like fired the shot. Technically, they were just tussling over the person. Just still wrong on her part, but like, man, it's just weird the power that the government funded media does to people. Like it's something else entirely, man. Like I'll just say that much, because that's a different topic for a different time. Like, you know, talking about the government funded media and the things they do to push narratives and whatnot. But that'll be a different topic for another episode. You know, sometimes you actually have to start asking yourself the question, like, why did this woman seem so mad at the world at the time? Like, you know, if you will. Like let's take things back a little bit though, right? So Remy and her sister Kristen both grew up in Castle Hill Projects of Bronx, New York, and from an early age she was very quickly familiarized with the consequences and terrors of her own family's drug abuse. And like a lot of urbanized black children growing up in poverty with a lot of siblings, she was essentially kind of forced at a young age to take care of her younger brothers and sisters. And, you know, that's something I could relate to with her, was her outlet to get away from her issues back then was writing poetry. And if you've ever gotten into like writing poetry, you already know this, like, it's almost like you're astrally projecting yourself to another world, because one that's like basically entirely your own, and where you have the power and the control, and nobody can take that away from you for those brief moments that you're putting pen to paper, you know? It's just it's chaotic and it's beautiful, like all at once. Like I love poetry, I really do. Anyways, so through her process of writing poetry, Remy was also kind of introduced to the harsh realities of a society that did not show the same love to women and minorities. And being part of both and being young at the same time, it made her pretty angry. and I'm not gonna lie, she had a right to be angry. Like back then, racism and prejudice towards women was still like a common thing at all levels of society. It didn't matter what level of society you were at, you know. And she was kind of able to harness that anger a little bit in a productive manner. However, she did started framing her poetry into raps that she would kind of like use against her schoolmates at lunch and whatnot. And for those that don't know, to this day, Remy Ma is actually like heavily involved and associated with battle rap culture. As a matter of fact, her and her husband Papoose, shout outs to Papoose, one of the most underrated lyrical miracle with a street edge rappers to ever touch a mic. Honestly, shout out to Papoose, man. Papoose definitely gives me the vibe of someone who is like influenced by Big L, because Papoose kind of has like that Big L aura to him, if you will, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, Remy and Papoose, they started their own battle rap league. Actually, it's called Chrome 23, and it was actually created because there's kind of been this vacuum of sorts when it comes to like female representation in battle rap culture itself. Like, we used to have like leagues like Queen of the Ring, but you know, you can't really grow as a business without competition, right? So I personally like what Remy Ma and Papoose are doing with Chrome 23 League, so it's kind of giving more shine to some of the female battle rappers out there. Like, shout outs to Jazz the Rapper, shout outs to Miss Hustle, shout outs to Farrah Funeral, Bonnie Godiva, Vixen the Assassin. Like, there's a whole bunch. I'm just a huge fan of battle rap, so I do definitely watch a lot of it, so I do know a lot of names in it. But actually, the name itself, Chrome 23, is in reference to the 23rd pair of chromosomes, which is basically, it's the X and Y, the pair, right? It's either the X and the Y, which is essentially determines what your sex is going to be when you're before birth, right? And it's really cool that they did it like that, because it's really unique. I kind of like that, you know, the Chrome 23. It's kind of referencing the chromosomes of whether you're the XX or the XY, right? Because Chrome 23, they actually have battles where the female battle rappers are battling the male rappers, and I actually enjoy those battles too. Like, those are fun to watch. Like, seeing a rapper like Miss Hustle, she can battle any male battle rapper and hold her own, like, no problem. Miss Hustle is good. Like, she's real, and she's very big woman. Like, she's actually kind of physically imposing, if you will. Like, she's kind of towering over a couple of these other battle rap dudes. But man, I just keep going off on different tangents. You see how much I love battle rap? I'm just going off on like different things about battle rap. But back to Remy Ma. Remy and Papoose, they kind of really have like one of those. How am I gonna preface this? They have like one of those love stories that you only kind of see in movies. You know, like. They originally met in like 2004 via a mutual acquaintance at the time, DJ K Slay, the Drama King. Shout outs to DJ K Slay, R.I.P. And they initially connected on just music, right? And for a long time, they actually kept their relationship completely out of the public eye. Nobody even knew that those two were dating, like things like that, right? Which is, I think in this new social media society where people are always so quick to post who it is that they're currently with on their social media, and then when things don't work out, they like completely remove all these people from their social media, then their social media just looks, it's weird. It's weird, right? Like, you know, anyways. Then in like 2008, when Remy got sentenced to an 8 years for her role in the shooting incident with her former friend there, you know, their bond was so strong. Papoose and Remy, not the former friend. Their bond was so strong that Papoose would actually drive an hour every single day to the prison to visit her, to the point where she actually had to like start telling him like he doesn't need to come every day, you know? Like, man, if that ain't some beautiful black love right there, man, then I really don't know what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. But you know, it really had to be like true love, because not only did Remy already have a son before Papoose, of course Papoose also had a child before her. It was actually Papoose that brought her son with him whenever he would go visit Remy. So, and people try to say that like there aren't like great examples of black fathers out there, or there aren't that many, or there aren't that many that are like in the spotlight, but there are. People just don't look for it. And again, it can lead back to that discussion about the government-funded media that likes to push certain narratives. But again, I'm going off on different tangents, and I'm just trying to, yeah. You know, yeah. Let's, like, come on. Papoose is great, man. He's like great role model there, and the fact that he personally chooses to try to for a long time they chose to keep all of that out of the public eye as much as possible. Again, like you got to give them their flowers for that, man. Like that's a beautiful thing, man. So it's beautiful, man. The fact that after Remy came out, like they combined their blended families. Like, oh yeah, in 2014 Remy was released after 6 years. Yeah, she only served 6 of the 8 years. And then in 2015 they officially got married, and then they had their first child together in 2018. Reminisce Mackenzie Mackey, who they nicknamed the Golden Child. Shout out to the Golden Child, man. Really, it's just dope to see it sometimes, man. Like, I really love seeing when people who look like me aren't like perpetuating the stereotypical narratives pushed by, once again, the government-funded media, because their entire purpose is to sow division within the society, to make make some groups easier to control than others by like farming and fueling people's outrage and animosity, and then pointing it at a specific target for all their vitriol. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I can do a deep dive about Remy, but that's actually not the reason I brought her up. Even though I've been kind of deep diving into it, just like surface deep dives here and there, you know. Like I've already said so much already, but the reason I actually brought her up is because of a really sad situation. Her son, her oldest, her firstborn, Jason Scott, was he was recently arrested and charged with first-degree murder.
What?
Now, the incident in question actually occurred back on June 7th, 2021, at approximately 12:58 in the afternoon. Police responded to a 911 call reporting shooting at the intersection of 148th Street and Rockaway Boulevard in Queens, New York, where they found alleged drug kingpin Darius D. Block Gilbo unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds to his head and chest. And just the violent nature of the crime and Gilbo's reputed criminal connections, most people and even the police believed it to be like a hired hit, actually. But there's definitely more levels to this, I think, because it just made me think, you know what? I'll say what I have to say, and then you guys can come up with your own conclusion, because I'm not gonna try to manipulate anyone's like opinions on it before like you're given all the information. So let me just drop the facts. 47-year-old D Block had like a long history with law enforcement, including 13 arrests and at least 3 jail stints. And on the day of his death, witnesses reported that they saw him arguing with 2 men that before he was basically shot multiple times in the head and chest. And another crazy caveat to this, though, D Block is allegedly the cousin of Kenneth Petty, who is the husband of rapper Nicki Minaj.
What?
It's crazy that these two are tied together again in this, considering that they actually have had like a long-standing beef with each other for several years. Like, but I always thought that it was like, you know, it was a beef that was just left on wax, or these days Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. But man, I understand that he was without his mother for at least like 6 years of his life growing up and whatnot, but like because she was in prison, obviously, but she's been out of prison for like 10 years. And well, at the time she would have been out of prison for like 7 years of the time of the shooting, I guess. But still, both of your parents are well off. Even when she came out of prison, like she had money. Like, your parents are well off, sir. Like, you had an active and involved role model / fatherly figure in your life during that time too. Like, why would you see this reminds me of the situation with people who didn't like grow up with the harshness of living in the hood, but they see the way some of these artists glorify it or make it seem like it's cool to be from there or have some kind of I don't know, some kind of hardship to lean on, so you can, like, I don't know, so they just basically end up internalizing this, and they think that they need to join a gang or they have to have some kind of criminal ties or mob ties because of it, because maybe it gives them some kind of edge or some kind of street cred, or I don't know, man. It's weird, man. Like, yo, y'all remember when Chris Brown when Chris Brown first came out, and was it like within what, one album, this man is suddenly rocking red flags and throwing up blood gang signs, and same thing happened with Lil Wayne. Like, suddenly Lil Wayne is throwing up like blood gang signs and this and that. Like, yo, you know, there was an era in the 2000s and early 2010s where artists just suddenly started joining or claiming Crip or Blood sets or alluding to some kind of connection to a gang, you know, but where does that actually get you, though?
You're a victim.
Like, what does that actually do for you? For those that like grow up in those, for those that actually grew up in those environments, most of them would gladly trade places with those who want for nothing. Like, they would gladly trade places with a have. A have-not would gladly trade places with a have. Are you kidding me? For a chance at like a little bit of stability, even if it's temporary. But nah, you know, I guess some people, no matter how well taken care of they are, some people just want to see the world burn.
You're nasty.
It really doesn't make any sense, man. But, you know, prayers to Remy Ma, Papoose, and their family. I'm hoping everything works out. But going on hired hits when your mother is a famous rapper and your stepdad is also a famous rapper, come on, man.
You're a victim.
Come on, man. This yo, it's just messed up, man. That's real messed up. Like, speaking on the topic about female rappers, though, I'm about to go off on a completely different tangent just now. Can we talk about the recent BET Awards? Just a little bit, you know. Now, before anything, I will say shout outs to all the ladies that performed that night. Meg Thee Stallion, Victoria Monet, Tyla, Glorilla, Lotto, Ice Spice, Doechii, Sexy Red, Lauryn Hill. I'm probably forgetting a whole bunch right now, but, you know, like, every single one of them, absolutely beautiful. Salute to all of them. But yo, BET, who coordinated this shit, man? Like, this is what we call Black Excellence Television? Like, I know it used to be like Black Entertainment Television, obviously, but like, is this the entertainment that we want to promote to people? Like, fam, all I heard was like ass shaking music. Seriously, like a whole bunch of ass shaking music. I mean, visually, I was very, very, very entertained. But mentally, I'm like, what the hell am I listening to right now? This is brain rot, fam. Like, where's the UNITY? Like, shout outs to Queen Latifah, man. Like, we need to get back to the UNITY. Who you calling a bitch days? Like, come on, man. Shit. BET, like, I feel they really dropped the ball on this one. If their intention was to showcase female rappers doing their thing, then how come it always ends up showcasing the same cookie cutter girls, like almost like the foam at the top of the glass, surface level lyrics and massive sex appeal? Like that's what it is. It's cookie cutter, huge sex appeal, bottom tier lyrics. Like, what is this? It's ridiculous. See, the problem with this method that they've been using is that really there's just not enough longevity when they go this route, because once they reach a certain threshold or like a certain number of years in the game, You no longer get that label care package to keep you going, or at that point, you have to depend on the fans that you have made already. And by then, most of them already kind of transitioned to like other avenues besides just rapping. But why is it that the male counterparts and peers are always able to live off just rapping? Like, why is it that even when the ones that lack the substance there, like even the ones that lack substance in their raps, they can still live off their raps? But for the female rappers, a lot of the ones that fall into this cookie cutter molds, like your sex appeal is your whole identity. Like, I can use Lil' Kim as an example. She was a great rapper. She is very skillful. She was part of Junior Mafia. And then like all of a sudden, like, like she got a little bit older, like she got like more work done to try to maintain that youthful look, but all that work that she got done kind of made things, I don't know, I think it just affected her a little too much. So then people stopped checking for her music, because it's like, yo, what are we doing here? Like, what happened to just being like classic Lil' Kim from back in Junior Mafia days? Like, what are we rapping about now? Like, what is this? It's just strange. Like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm just going off on a tangent. I'm just riffing. I feel like I'm just riffing. What I feel like what the problem is like with the method that they've been using, there really isn't just enough longevity. Like, it's crazy, right? Irregardless of the longevity, I think it's the lack of substance is the real thing. The real issue at the end of the day is the substance, the lyrics. Do your songs actually hit people? Or is it just turn up music? Like, are you just literally making turn up music at all times? Because at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with turn up music. Like, it's cool, but just not all the time. Like, everyone grows up out of that turn up music phase eventually, and there's always going to be another new young hot girl to take the place of the past one. That's how the cookies work, right? It's cookie cutter. You get a new cookie when the old cookie's almost done, right? How's the saying go again? Like, the cream always rises to the top, right? Why can't we bring that back? Because like the best of the best generally can maintain that longevity as long as they have a solid fan base. BET, they really could have done this much better. Like, where was Rhapsody? Where was Saw Rock? Why do we only cater to people lower vibrational feelings and then turn around and get mad and then blame other people for behaving in a low vibrational manner? Like, there's arguments to be made that, oh, well, male rappers do it too. And yes, I do agree. Many of them do. But, big but here. Big but. From a media perspective, when you look at rap and rappers, there's a whole plethora of different types of rappers that are actually promoted and showcased. In the case of female rappers, a lot of the times it's all about the sex sells this and the sex sells that. But yo, honestly, I think Rhapsody raps better than a lot of male rappers that are actually successful in the game right now. But she's never going to be marketed to the same degree as a Meg or a Lotto, because she doesn't fit that specific American view of a female rapper, because she doesn't do turn up music. She actually does like real lyrical shit. Like, she can hold her own against any man, bro. Like, she's fire. Lyrics are fire. Come on, man. Rhapsody is so good. Anyway, but like, she doesn't fit that mold, right? Which to the labels, they don't really care about your level of skill as long as you look good and you're marketable, right? But here's the thing. Rhapsody is marketable. She's not just lyrically talented, she's also marketable. But again, they only like to push whatever they can control. I feel like maybe Rhapsody's lyrics are just too, they make people think too much. And I don't think the labels want people thinking a lot, you know? They want that turn up music, that surface level shit that'll just keep you like not thinking deep about shit, you know? Like sometimes I feel like hip hop is where meritocracy goes to die. Like, because it's truly never about who's the best. It's just who can make the labels the most money. That's what it turned into. Hip hop started off as a skill-based thing, man. Like it's about the talent always rises to the top, but now it's like, oh, how many record sales did you make? How many records did you sell? That makes you the best. Because you sold a lot of records. Because you made some turn-up music that nobody has to sit and really absorb, because it's turn-up music. You just listen to it and you can go do whatever you want. It just like makes you move. Like, oh, I'm bopping. You know? It's really messed up. Like, we've turned our female rap artists into walking commodities. Like, we push them away from the styles that got them there in the first place. Like Nicki Minaj, when she first got noticed, she was rapping. Like, she was a battle rap. She was battle rapping dudes, guys. Like, come on, man. Like, she was just really good. But the labels put her beauty over her skill set, and yes, she became very successful, and she still is currently very successful, and I salute that. But I personally feel like she ended up becoming a caricature of her true self. You know, because when people hear songs where Nicki's just rapping, like, we all get surprised, like, oh yeah, I forgot she's actually skilled in rap. But not just another pop star that labels loaded into their little mixtape gun and just fired off, you know? Like, just this cookie cutter shit. I just can't stand it. I really can't. It's atrocious. It's terrible. It needs to die. Like, we need to bring back people being uniquely themselves and not conforming after they've got into the game and conforming into like whatever fits the mold. Like, even SZA's a great example. Even though she's not a rapper, she's a R&B singer. One of my favorite R&B singers too. Like, I've been listening to SZA since she dropped like the S tapes, the Z tape. Like, when she was in her mixtape bag, that's when I was listening to SZA. Like, Chubby Stacy, like when she was chubby and naturally just didn't give a fuck. Like, that was the best SZA, and now she's, again, like another caricature of herself. She got the BBL done, like maybe Ozempic, I don't know, liposuction. She's basically she fits into that cookie cutter mold now, essentially. Like, her music is still top tier. Like, I still love her music, but then what appealed me to her originally was obviously her lyrics, but also the fact that she just looked so genuine, like genuinely, naturally, her natural beauty, you know, that there was something amazing about that. But now she literally looks like all the other female rappers now. It's crazy. Like, she's an R&B singer that looks like all the other female rappers. It's wild, man. Like, I don't know. Ooh. You know, come on, man. On the other side, you'll have artists like Remy Ma, who at one point like had a crazy beef with Nicki, and man, to this day, Remy's diss track to Nicki is so underrated, man. Sheether was actually crazy. That was actually a crazy diss track. If y'all haven't ever heard that track, please go YouTube it. I think it's still on YouTube. I don't know if it's on any other platforms, but Sheether was definitely fire. Like, Remy went all the way in. Like, she snapped. I'm surprised. If it wasn't Nicki Minaj, like, at the time, it could have ended a career. Like, that's how crazy she went in. That disc could have ended someone's career for sure. But one last thing I do want to say about the BET Awards as well is that Usher tribute. It wasn't terrible, but it absolutely should have and could have been better. Like, y'all gotta put more respect on the current king of R&B's name. Yes, Usher is the current king of R&B. The previous one was disqualified years ago for being a nasty fuck. But yo, BET, y'all really chose Childish Gambino to open up an Usher tribute.
You're a victim.
Donald Glover, Ernest Marks, shout outs to Atlanta, great show by the way. But man, at one point I thought that nigga was gonna rip off his shirt and just start doing his "This Is America" dance again or something. Like, you know, like he's not like a top tier singer or anything. So I'm like, again, that's why I question the selections and the coordination that BET like chose to do with some of these choices of performers, like especially for an Usher tribute, guys. Like, really? Childish Gambino. Shout outs to him. Like, I still listen to some of his music. Redbone is an amazing song, but like, nah. Like, nah. Sir, no. Keke Palmer I'd say it was the best part of the tribute to me. Like, she really channeled like her inner Usher to pull that off. Like, she was just spot on performance. Like, you even see when they switched to Usher to get his reaction, even he was like all smiles and happy. Meanwhile, like when Childish Gambino was performing, they switched to Usher. You kind of saw, you know, the normal PC smile that you have to give because you know the camera's on you type of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it. But Summer Walker, she's a great singer, but as a performer, I feel like she's a little bit stiff.
You're a victim.
Especially considering it was an Usher tribute. Like, shouldn't everybody involved in an Usher tribute kind of like be dancing? Like, this is Usher we're talking about. Come on. Anyways, Coco Jones. Coco Jones. I just have 6 words. 6 words for her. She knew what she was doing. she definitely knew what she was doing. Enough said. Marsha Ambrosius. She's a legend, y'all. I love her. I really do. But you know what? I'm gonna just shut up before I say some shit that'll get me in trouble. Yo, shout outs to Queen Marsha though. I'm gonna just shut up. Chloe Bailey. I'm not sure if it's the fact that she's Beyonce's protege, but I felt like, to me, everything about her part of the performance actually like gave me more of a Beyonce tribute and less an Usher tribute. Even though like it's an Usher tribute, like I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like it really isn't a good thing to think about, considering it's an Usher tribute and I'm getting Beyonce vibes from it. I don't know. Anyways, I have nothing bad to say about Tinashe's performance because she performed Nice and Slow, which is one of my all-time favorite Usher songs. And I think anyone probably could have been put in that performance and I would have said nothing bad to say about it. Almost anyone. Okay. Yes, almost anyone. Because I'm looking at you, Childish Gambino. Why the hell did BET put this man in an Usher tribute? I am still mad. Oh my God. Sorry. Teyana Taylor and Victoria Monet absolutely killed their performance too. Like, they definitely channeled the soul of Usher in that performance. Like, Teyana Taylor is such a good dancer. Oh my God. Like, not just like she's an underrated dancer. Like, she's a great singer too, but like her as a performer, like I didn't really realize how great of a performer she really was until I saw her in Kanye's Fade video. You know, your love is faded, and she's like doing all that dancing like in the bikini. Oh man, she was fire. It's fire. But great performer. Oh my goodness. And last but not least, Lotto. She's a very beautiful woman. Again, she has a great voice for rap. Like she's got a great cadence too. Like when she's actually a good rapper. Like rapping wise, but I don't know. I just feel like there's something missing to me. There's always been something missing to me whenever it came to Lotto. I just never consumed her music. And also, what's up with her like performing Ludacris's verse during an Usher tribute?
What?
Like I get that the song is Yeah, and it's Usher and Ludacris and Lil Jon, but like why would you perform sorry, not Lil Jon, Ludacris's part for an Usher tribute. Again, BET, man, why would you guys do this? Who coordinated this? Like, y'all serious? Come on. Anyways, yeah, man. BET really dropped the ball. I think there's just been way too much low vibrational energy, way too much gatekeeping when it comes to like skilled women that rap, and we need to bring back that UNITY. Who you calling a bitch? Aha. Anyways, with that being said, yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go finish packing. I'm going on vacation, man. Like, yeah, I had to make sure I get an episode out for you guys before I get the hell out of here. Anyways, yeah. So salute to the outro.